The month of Ramadan is anticipated for Muslims across the world, including those currently residing or studying overseas, making it them living far from home. Experiencing Ramadan in a foreign place creates lasting memories. This is also the case for one Indonesian diaspora, Ahmad Kamil, who is currently observing fasting in Yemen, and one more, Afifullah Naufal Zorif, who is currently observing fasting in Egypt. Both Kamil and Naufal are already live with us via Zoom. Hello, Kamil and Naufal. How are you today?
Hi, I'm
Hello,
fine,
Amit.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm pretty sure, inshallah.
All right, Alhamdulillah. We have a questions for you, but maybe I'll go to Kamil first. Can you describe your overall experience of fasting in the country that you reside at the moment in Yemen?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for the time you give to me. Okay, overall, fasting here is like hasn't been too difficult, Alhamdulillah, since the majority, well, actually, all of the people here in Tarim are Muslims, different from the people around Tarim, like Sewun or Hauta. So they can go there if they're not Muslim. But if you want to go to Tarim, you have to be a Muslim because this is like a sacred place in Hadramut. So that makes it easier to adjust because everyone here is fasting with me. But at the same time, like when I first go here, there were a few things that were quite a shock for me, like the difference from the climate and the weather, and of course, because of being far from family. But Alhamdulillah, after like several times or several months, I've been able to adapt. And yeah, Alhamdulillah, it's been a unique and meaningful experience from here.
All right. How about you, Naufal, in Egypt?
Since it's my third year of Ramadan in Egypt, I could say that Ramadan here feels so special, despite I was far from my family. The length of fast time here depends of the season. If it's on summer, we're gonna fast up to 16 hours, and less than that in another season. But yeah, overall, it was fun.
Great to hear that both of you are enjoying your time in your respective countries. Now, I'm going to ask Camille again now because you mentioned already that you have experiencing differences when you're doing the fasting in Yemen compared to Indonesia. So, besides climates and weather, what else that do you think is going to most challenging or the most different thing compared to Indonesia?
Okay. So from first, I'm gonna explain a little bit about the weather. So actually, the weather is like if you have been to Saudi, so it's like similar to Saudi, which is hot and dry. You know, so it's a little bit challenging at times, different from Indonesia, which is humid and sometimes it's raining, so it's not as challenging as that. And the other aspect is maybe in Tarim, the focus on worship is really strong, with people spending a lot of their times in the mosque reciting Quran and praying. Well, especially at night. Well, meanwhile, in Indonesia, Ramadan feels like more festive with a lot of food stalls, family gathering, and cultural traditions that makes actually the experience unique on its own way. So while both places have their own special vibe, I think fasting in Tarim definitely feels more spiritually intense, while in Indonesia maybe it's more like a community and tradition, I think.
Very good point over there. How about you, Nofal, in Egypt? Are you also experiencing difficulties in doing fasting?
I also it's the season. It's same like in Yemen, and as I said, Ramadan is special month because everyone is waiting for it. Like they even celebrate with fireworks and fanus. So fanus is like a traditional lantern with many different shapes, and they usually decorate their apartment with those fanus and LED light. And I think that makes Egypt city lights more shiny. And I have a fun fact about Egyptians. More of them spend their money from the hard work in the whole year to spend it for good deeds in Ramadan, such as affording a free iftar that we call it Maidatul Rahman. So this is free iftar also provided at the Al Azhar Mosque, where I'll volunteer there, and Al Azhar provided 5,000 to 6,000, give or take, free meals per day in Ramadan. I think. Yeah.
Okay, since you mentioned free meals, so what is your favorite meals then in Egypt?
I think the my favorite meal is like a kufta. The name is a kufta. It's like a um what is the name? I just call it the kofta.
Okay. Is it spicy or what?
No, it's not spicy. It's like meals.
Ah, okay. How about you, Camille? Do you also have like your favorite traditional food?
Yeah, actually, my favorite food first since I was a child is actually pretty simple. You know, it's like rice with egg and soya sauce in it. It's always been my favorite since I was a child. But if you're asking about my favorite iftar, maybe I love to eat some sambosa. You know, sambosa is like actually similar with in Indonesia. It's like I don't know. It's like maybe a triangle bread with some meat in it and maybe some onions or some stuffs like that.
Okay. What about during sahur? Do you find any difficulties preparing your sahur there? Maybe I'll go to Camille first.
Okay, actually, it's if you ask to me like several years ago, it's gonna be a bit difficult for us to have a sahur. You know, like actually the sahur is it's pretty simple. You know, you can eat the Yemenian foods and other stuff, but they only eat rice at the noon. You know, like the duhur time. We call it here goda. Goda is like eating at noon. The different from breakfast and night. They all also only eat breads. So it's kind of hard for Indonesians if you asked me several years ago. But since now the Indonesians are so much, I know you have so many Indonesians here. So actually now, Alhamdulillah, it's pretty easy for us because. At the stall, they sell so many Indonesian foods like nasi goreng. You'll have like bakso. You'll have so Alhamdulillah now it's getting easier for us here.
Okay, so no more rice with egg then.
No rice with egg.
Okay, so how about you, Anofal? Do you have to prepare the sahur for yourself?
Yes, I have to prepare my sahur with but sometimes I'm cook but not sometimes but I buy my with my sahur.
Okay, so do you prepare like Indonesian food for sahur or maybe like local culinary?
It's sometimes yeah, sometimes I prepare my sahur with Indonesia food and sometimes I'm with Egyptian food.
Okay. Do people around you understand that you are fasting during the day? Or sometimes they still ask you, or maybe they have to have explanations about fasting in your country? Maybe I'll go to
Yeah,
Naufal. Yeah.
for sure, because most of the people here are Muslim, so even the people with other religions are highly respect us when we're fasting. They also feel the joy of Ramadan with us.
So that's great then. How about you, Kamil?
Yeah, because as I said before, like since the majority and actually, well, not majority in Tarim, it's like everyone here is a Muslim. So yeah, I mean, I never had to explain Ramadan to anyone here because, yeah, we're fasting together and there's no need to explanation about. We don't even need to explain about Ramadan or what's fasting to people here.
All right, that's good to hear about that. Now, my final question to you both is: do you have any special message for your family or friends in Indonesia? Maybe I'll go to Kamil first.
Yeah, because I haven't met my family for maybe a year. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for sending me here because I've had so many experience here from adapting to one life to another, like a country to another, and yeah, I just want to say thank you to them and I miss you and Mila Aidin Ul Faizin because it's Godi Ramadan, Godi Eid. Thank you so much.
All right, Nofa, how about you?
Yeah, me too. Thank you for my family in Indonesia. And ana minal aizin wal faizin. Mohon maaf lahir dan batin.
All right, Kamil and Nofa, thank you very much for sharing your stories here on TVRI World today.